our universe is currently on the first day of its 51st year. During this day,
so the universes.
Yeah, that's what they said, but how do we know? Like, what is that based on? Like, what is their foundation that we live on the first day of the... Hey guys, welcome back to Muslim Minds. So we're going to be checking out Hinduism as Muslims. I don't know much about Hinduism. I know it's to my understanding, if I'm correct or not, it's a polytheistic religion. They believe in many gods and stuff like that, but I'm not really sure anything about like Hindu creeds and stuff. So
in a way, it's actually similar to the Trinity, because in some beliefs they actually have, I'm being serious, they have this belief where like all the different avatars of God, or all these different gods, are actually different forms of the same God. It's all one God.
So the avatar controller of all elements.
Yeah.
So this video is called How the Universe is Created According to Hinduism. So let's check it out.
the universe is a mystery that has always puzzled mankind. How was it created? And who is responsible for creation? In Hinduism, there are many theories about how the universe was created in the earliest days. Let's explore some of them. In Hinduism, the universe is not one single entity. There are an infinite number of universes that are constantly being created and destroyed. In other words, we live in a universe that belongs to a multiverse. Our universe will ultimately die, but the multiverse lives on. Lord Vishnu is a personification of this multiverse.
That's interesting they have that scientific belief, if that's actually in the scripture from 4,000 years ago, that the universe is part of a multiverse. That's not just exclusive to Hinduism. I think that's like a fact.
Yeah, well, cool. It could be like interpretation from their text. It's probably something along the lines of like God's perpetually creating the heavens, and that there are countless heavens being created and destroyed, and heavens traditionally are associated with that which is above. So that's probably where
they said the universe will be destroyed, but the multiverse will live on.
Yeah,
that's nothing wrong with that. I don't know.
According to Hinduism, Lord Vishnu was asleep in the...
So this is one thing I find interesting. So gods in Hinduism seem to have like, is he sleeping because he wants to? Is he sleeping because he has to? Does he like depend on these kind of functions? Or like sleeping in a sense is kind of like the
ultimate lord of the universe is sleeping?
From an Abrahamic point of view, God doesn't sleep. God is eternal, all powerful, doesn't need to sleep, right? So I wonder why. I hope if there are, Hindus in the comment section, please, leave your explanations. We would like to see it.
The cosmic ocean of all causes before the creation of the universe. His bed is a giant serpent with thousands of cobra-like hoods.
Wow. That's elaborate.
It's very interesting and a lot of imagery.
It seems like already the way that theology is going, like kind of like a lot of human imagination has gone into it. Because again, Hinduism is like 4,000 years old, so I don't think there's any way to historically verify their religious scriptures. But
maybe if any Hindu
it's
people...
probably more cultural and like kind of like passed on through the ages.
Yeah, but I'm sure they believe it's 100% authentic and stuff.
Yeah, because Hinduism is not like the Abrahamics in a faith or in a way where their religion is kind of like it's actually integrated with the culture. And it's fine if it kind of like evolves in interpretations over time.
Really?
Yeah, because they have like these sages and gurus and whatnot. So.
Interesting. And by the way, if any Hindu people are in this comment section watching the video, I hope they are. We're not trying to be disrespectful. We're just asking questions because we know like nothing about it.
Hinduism, yeah.
The universe was created in a triad of roles: creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Lord Vishnu is the maintainer. Lord Brahma is the creator. Lord Shiva is the destroyer. The universe was created through the actions of Lord Vishnu, who slept and let a lotus bloom from his navel. The lotus stem represents the creation of the universe, while Brahma is found at the flower's center and represents the creator. The time it takes for one universe to be created.
You see like these kind of things with like the stem coming from Vishnu and these kind of things. So we know like stems are like, part of vegetation. So it's just kind of interesting to see something that's so kind of like, you don't really think about it in this world like a stem, but then it has like a heavy importance in
Next one to end is also the duration of one breath of Lord Vishnu. When he exhales, thousands of universes come into being and a new Brahma is born in each one. But when
also,
Lord
like,
Vishnu...
this avatar of God can have a birth or beginning. Or, I mean, let's set aside, I guess, that interpretation, but this God can be born?
Yeah. It's coming up, it says the Lord Brahma represents the universe that we live in, so every universe has Lord Brahma.
inhales, all universes get sucked in and Brahma dies. Lord Brahma represents the universe that we live in. He creates all life forms and is responsible for the physical world that we live in. Lord Vishnu is the personification. He is responsible for the continuation of life in all universes. Brahma is the representation of our temporary physical universe, while
I know
Vishnu
that the main god actually is called like Brahman, and he is like everything. Like he's actually everything, or something like. Again, I could
So
be so
this
wrong.
one is saying Brahma breathes, creates universes. Vishnu, is in every universe, and then Shiva, we don't know. They just mentioned this destroyer.
Yeah,
But Brahman is
and then
above them.
And Brahman is like actually like they say like when you die you become one with like Brahman or something.
Oh,
like he's
okay.
like everything. He's like essence itself. Something like that. I could be completely wrong, guys. This is what I've heard.
is the representation of the eternal multiverse that exists forever without any beginning or end. The current universe represented by Brahma is not permanent.
So I do have a question. If it's like without any beginning, does that mean like there was a time when time was created by like Brahman or something, and then or is it like kind of like an infinite regress of the universes with this cycle?
I have no idea.
In fact, it's quite temporary. Brahma only lives for 100 years and then he dies and a new universe will be born. Now, let's talk about time measurements. Brahma lives for 100 years and each year of Brahma has 360 days. And we are currently on the first day of the 51st year of his reign. There are day and night. During the day, Brahma creates life, and during the night, all life he created is absorbed back into him. Therefore, we will only be there for this day of Brahma, which is the first day of his 51st year. But don't be sad. Let me promise you that this is...
So what? I don't get that. All of our lives are it's only one day for him? This Brahma? I didn't get that exactly. Didn't
I
make
thought you
sense.
said he lives for 100
Yeah,
years.
we're on his 51st day. He said all of
and
our
it lasts
lives.
for a long time.
Well, yeah.
So 100. Wait, what she did? She
360 days, 100 years, and we're on the 51st year. And after one breath, that's the only day we'll see. So I don't know.
quite a
It's
long
quite
day.
a long day. So.
Yug, large units of time. Think of Yug as a unit of time that is measured in thousands to
Okay.
millions of years.
Okay.
The Vishnu Puran, an ancient Hindu text, has details about these Yug measurements. A Mahayug is made up of 4 sub-yugs.
You know what's interesting?
That-
Even in the Hindu scriptures, they have the story of a great flood.
Oh, really?
that distributed in the ratio of 4:3, 3:2, 2:1. In a Mahayug, the Kali Yug is the shortest yug and lasts for 432,000 solar years, followed by the Dwapar Yug, which is twice as long as 864,000 years. Then there's Treta Yug at 12,96,000 years, and finally the Satyug, which is 17,28,000 years. So in all, a Mahayug on Earth lasts for 4.32 million years. Manvantar, the next major unit of time after a Mahayug in ancient Indian text, is called Manvantar. At the beginning of a Manvantar, new life forms are created, and at the end of it, those life forms are destroyed. This is how the cycle of life goes on in the ancient Indian texts. One Manvantar is said to last for 71 Mahayug or 71 multiplied by 4.32 million years. This works out to be around 306.72 million years in total. According to these ancient texts, all life on Earth will eventually be destroyed after 306.72 million years of evolution. Interestingly,
This is very interesting. I had no idea
Like it's so
about these time
calculated.
periods. But where does this come from?
252 million years ago, the Earth experienced its largest mass extinction event. Most species on Earth were killed, including nearly 90% to 96% of all insects. This was also the only mass extinction period of insects on Earth. After each mass extinction of life forms, there is a period of recovery called Sandhikal. This period lasts for one Satyug or 1.728 million years. According to the latest estimates from modern science, it is believed that it took around 10 million years for life on Earth to recover after the Permian-Triassic extinction event. As you can see, it took our planet 10 million years to get back to its feet after suffering the greatest mass extinction in history. Kalp, Day of the Brahma or Universe. The universe has a day too. Just like our day on Earth is called Kalp, the time period for one Kalp is said to be equivalent to 14 Manvantars and the Sandhikal. So,
There's too many new terms. I don't even remember what's happening anymore.
there are 14 Manvantars and 15 Sandhikals in a Kalp. During the Sandhikal before the first Manvantar, no life has evolved yet. One Kalp equal to 14 multiplied by 306.72 scale, one day is said to be 4.32 billion years long. This day is divided into a period of creation, where life forms are created, and a night period during which no creation takes place. Each of these periods is also 4.32 billion years long. In other words, one day of Lord Brahma on the universal scale is 8.64 billion years long. It's interesting to note that, according to modern scientific discoveries, the oldest life form on the Earth is 4.28 billion years old. Maha Kalpa.
So yeah, I'm still just really confused about the time periods and how that works into like modern science and stuff.
I was hoping that this video would be more about like the theology behind how the universe is created, but it's like kind of just like right now, like talking about life forms or lifespans and how long these different periods last and like the different kind of sub periods. It's interesting, but I wanted to learn more about like what they believe in actually, like on a more in-depth level.
And a year at the universal scale is 12 such universal months. This enables life forms to rise and fall in accordance with the karma they have earned. On the universal scale, 100 years are defined as the lifespan of a universe. This is called a Maha Kalpa. A universe is 8.64 multiplied by 30 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 100 billion years, which totals to around 311.04 trillion years. The ancient Indian texts says that our universe is currently on the first day of its 51st year. During this day,
so the universe is...
Yeah, that's what they said, but how do we know? Like, what is that based on? Like, what is their foundation that we live on the first day of the 51st year?
Yeah, I wonder how they kind of calculated the age of the Earth.
That means
back then.
They think our universe is half of this trillion years number. So we've lived like 155. The universe has been 155 trillion years old. But that doesn't make sense. Because the universe only exists for 13 billion years.
Well, again, you have to of this universe. I was about to say they believe
I explained of the entire universe, but the Big Bang caused everything. scientifically. So 155 trillion years ago, nothing was there according to modern science. So what does this mean, Hindu people?
Yeah, for the Hindus, how do you reconcile this with the Big Bang?
Yeah, because Big Bang, as we know, is like 13, 14 billion. Before that, there was nothing. So how... Just interested in what do you guys think?
During this day, we are in the Kali Yuga of the 28th Maha Yuga of the 7th Manvantar. Come to the calculation once again. 155,520 billion years.
Created. We got like
6 Manvantars.
2 minutes of content with them.
6 multiplied by 306.72 million years equal to 1,840.32
I don't know. What is this calculation even
years.
supposed to show now?
7 Sandhi Kal. 7 multiplied by 1.728 million years. So, the age of the universe, as per ancient Hindu texts, 57.49 trillion years. Modern science tells us that the universe is around 13.799 billion years old. However, ancient Indian texts predict a much longer timeline. Ancient Indian texts says that the age of the universe is around 311 trillion years. This video is only an attempt.
So they're even saying that science is at 13 billion and they are timesing that by like an exponential amount. 13 billion to 100, what did they say? 311 trillion or something? That is like the power of 100. So that's a big difference. So what is it's just because it says? Is there like, what's the foundation if any Hindu people are in the comments?
Yeah, if there are, because we know these calculations now, I would like to learn how they came about, like who made these calculations.
To appreciate the great scale of time on which ancient Indians were working. We do not come across any other ancient civilization talk in terms of billions or trillions of years of calculations with specific names given to such large periods of time. Like the famous American cosmologist Carl Sagan said in his book Cosmos, the Hindu religion is the only one of the world's great faiths dedicated to the idea that the cosmos itself undergoes an immense, indeed an infinite, number of deaths and rebirth.
I don't see how this is really a striking point because modern science does not back up this kind of claim based off our studies yet. Granted, modern science or science in general is continuously evolving, but the science as the trajectory is going seems to be indicating otherwise, that the universe is not this immensely old.
Yeah, I mean,
we have nothing to kind of compare this to.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just saying it's amazing because they're using such large timescales, but just because they're using large timescales doesn't make it a proof on its own. Doesn't make it a proof. So, I don't know.
It is the only religion in which the time scales correspond to those of modern scientific cosmology. Its cycles run from our ordinary day and night to a day and night of Brahma, 8.64 billion years long. Longer than the age of the earth or the sun, and about half the time since the Big Bang. Thank you so much.
Like, according to Hindu theology, that's an unfathomable amount of time that has already passed.
Yeah, I don't know what that last point by Carl Sagan was supposed to mean. It just didn't sound like any proof at all. And that's not true. It's not the only religion that has timescales corresponding to modern scientific. We as Muslims, you don't have to be in line with modern science. But we also have that Allah created the universe in time periods, which is 6 days, but it's not days like that we know it. So that's also
the original yom, the word yom in Arabic, or even in the Old Testament or in the Hebrew or Jewish scriptures, the word used for day to describe the days of the universe's creation is not like a 24-hour period. It just means period of time.
So yeah, that's not exactly true, because for Islam and Christianity and Judaism, it's also that exists in it, even though it's days. It's not literal days. But I guess they're saying Hinduism has literally billions, trillions of years. So that's why
like it's
like that.
interesting to see these facts, but what would be more telling is to see where they derive this information from.
Yeah, because there's a lot of information, a lot of calculations, math problems and stuff like that, but where is it from? Like they said, it was interesting. They said the scholars of Hinduism have been working on a large time scale, but that doesn't mean anything. Like what is it based on? Because science saying the universe Big Bang happened 13 billion years ago, which is like something you can observe and like verify. So where does this 311 trillion come from? That's
And again, it's not like we need science to verify everything. As Muslims, like right now, science cannot verify God in the sense where we can visibly see Him. You cannot test the sight of God, or stuff like this. But things that we know to be kind of like probable, or like for example, like we need oxygen and water. This is a scientific claim, and it's true. Just like the age of the universe, there's many things to back it up now with our kind of current study of the universe. The consensus around this is that the Big Bang is the most accurate theory thus far, and the statistics around it as well. So
yeah, very interesting video. Anything we said, any questions we had, please leave it in the comments so we can learn more about it. We probably might watch a video more on Hindu theology.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was like the biggest viewed video about Hinduism, so we decided to check it out. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching, and assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.